The air reeked of rain and earth as Ethan Harper pulled up to the crumbling mansion known as Blackwood House, abandoned for decades. Or so legends claimed. Its towering silhouette loomed under the full moon's glow, a dark sentinel against a storm-darkened sky. Each weathered stone and shattered window whispered secrets of a bygone era, echoing sorrow and ancient dread that seeped into the ground. Switched off the engine and stepped out, his heavy boots sinking into the sodden earth. A seasoned paranormal investigator, he had encountered inexplicable phenomena before, yet tonight's call chilled him. A nameless woman had whispered, "There's something in Blackwood House, it's waiting." Her trembling voice ignited in him a mix of dread and irresistible curiosity. Let's get this over with. Approaching the ancient front doors, Ethan pushed them open with a creak that resonated through oppressive silence inside. The mansion exhaled a musty odor of decay and forgotten memories, faded portraits, scattered furniture, and a grand piano draped in cobwebs testified to a past long lost. One portrait, a graceful woman in an antique gown marked Lady Eleanor Blackwood, 1889, 142, watched him with sorrowful eyes. A sudden chill caused his breath to crystallize in the cool air. Shadows danced along the walls, beckoning him deeper into the gloom. Without warning, a forceful gust slammed the door shut behind him, trapping him in a realm where time and light vanished. With resolve tempered by trepidation, Ethan advanced in the darkness. A grand staircase, its banister cloaked in dust, rose before him. Faint, ghostly laughter, a child's giggle, echoed from above, mingling with the thump of his racing heart. As spectral murmurs grew louder, the corridor stretched into an abyss of forgotten voices and lingering regrets. All right, Blackwood, show me what you've got. Each echo of his footfall merged with ghostly murmurs until a final, resounding slam sealed his fate in eternal silence. The mansion absorbed every sound, etching a haunting promise into its walls that would torment all who dared enter. The silence enveloped him as Blackwood House stood as a timeless relic of sorrow and mystery, destined to haunt every soul that crossed its. Ethan advanced into the depths of Blackwood House, where every step resonated with whispers of the past. The grand hallway, lined with sorrowful portraits and crumbling mold, was bathed in a ghostly glow from shattered windows. Amid the decay, an eerie melody arose, a spectral song sung by unseen voices that mingled with the wind and told tales of lost souls. The air grew thick, steeped in memories of agony and regret. A gentle piano played a mournful tune, its notes blending with the distant hum of a choir of spirits. Every sound was a fragment of a story long buried, now clawing its way into the present. The walls pulsed with life, each crevice held a secret, every shadow concealed a tale of despair. Ethan's flashlight revealed a spiraling staircase, its worn steps carved smooth by time. With each cautious ascent, the spectral song swelled, a haunting lullaby promising both solace and doom. The voices rose in harmony, delicate yet chilling, as if inviting him to listen to the confessions of the dead. Sorrow lies hidden within these walls. At the top, he entered a vast parlor where moonlight fractured through broken stained glass, scattering kaleidoscopic patterns upon the dusty floor. A massive mirror dominated one wall, its surface rippling as though stirred by invisible hands. The singing shifted, its tone now laced with a dire warning. Ethereal voices layered together, intoning. A shiver seized Ethan as he peered into the murky depths. In that trembling reflection, a cloaked figure emerged, a specter whose sorrowful eyes spoke of untold torment. The song crescendoed, its haunting notes echoing through the silence, as if the very house lamented its fate and beckoned him closer. I must uncover the truth hidden in this sorrowful symphony. With resolve and trembling anticipation, Ethan stepped forward into the heart of Blackwood House, where the spectral lullaby promised revelations and ruin. Every note, every whispered refrain, wove together the tragic past with the uncertain future, leaving him both terrified and irresistibly drawn. After wandering endless corridors, Ethan found himself before an imposing oak door, its surface etched with cryptic symbols. With a hesitant push, the door creaked open to reveal a vast, forgotten library. Dust-laden shelves groaned under the weight of ancient tomes, and the air was thick with the scent of aged paper and sorrowful secrets. Faint light from a broken window illuminated motes dancing in the gloom, as if the very atmosphere mourned lost souls. A spectral melody seemed to emanate from the walls. Every book whispered tales of grief and forgotten tragedies. The grand chandelier above swayed slowly, casting wavering shadows that danced along the rows of time-worn volumes. Titles, nearly illegible from decades of neglect, hinted at lives and legends that once breathed within these walls. In these pages, may I find the truth behind Blackwood House's eternal lament. Ethan's cautious footsteps merged with the soft, rhythmic tapping of his boots on a faded carpet. In the heart of the library, beneath a layer of dust, lay an ancient desk. Resting upon it was an open journal, its fragile pages scrawled with cryptic notes and faded sketches. A map of despair, perhaps the key to unraveling the mansion's cursed history. As Ethan reached toward the journal, the ink seemed to shimmer and shift, and the words began to murmur in a ghostly chorus. Within these walls, every sorrow is preserved, every tear a story. The sound sent a shiver down his spine, mingling dread with a burning curiosity. What is this place trying to tell me? The journal snapped shut as if in protest, and for a moment silence reigned. Then a cold breeze stirred its pages, carrying with it the faint strains of a distant piano. A mournful tune that echoed through the library like a lament from beyond. Shadows coalesced near the shelves, forming fleeting images of sorrowful figures whose silent pleas reverberated in the dark. Trembling yet resolute, Ethan stepped back. The library's secrets were far darker than he had ever imagined. Determined to decipher the cryptic script, he realized that within these haunted verses lay the key to Blackwood House's mystery. The spectral chorus grew louder, urging him to unlock the buried truth. I must learn what lies beneath these cursed words. I must learn what lies beneath these cursed words. I must learn what lies beneath these cursed words. I must learn. Ethan stepped cautiously into a narrow corridor beyond the library. The air grew dense, each breath laden with secrets, as restless shadows danced along the time-worn walls. Every creak of ancient wood urged him forward, drawing him deeper into Blackwood House's hidden heart. In this forsaken passage, the silence pulsed with a mysterious rhythm, a silent promise that the truth lay just ahead. The corridor opened into a small, dimly lit chamber dominated by an ancient altar. Upon the altar lay relics and cryptic symbols carved in stone, all bathed in a single wavering beam of moonlight piercing through a cracked ceiling. As Ethan approached, a spectral voice, both tender and commanding, filled the space, its sound as clear as if spoken directly to him. "Welcome, Seeker. Your journey has led you here for a reason." Ethan's pulse quickened as he surveyed the room. Intricate carvings depicted forgotten rituals and deities lost to time, while a haunting melody mingled with soft, ethereal vocals, creating an atmosphere both mesmerizing and foreboding. "Find the truth, unveil the lies." Slowly, the relics began to glow, and the chamber seemed to shudder, bending under an unseen force. With a sudden burst of energy, the mirror at the far end cracked, revealing a hidden passage behind it. The spectral voice returned, its tone now layered with urgency. "This is your path. Step forward and embrace your destiny." Ethan hesitated, only a moment before moving toward the passage. Shattered mirror fragments danced in the flickering light, reflecting his determined face as his shadow merged with a darkness ancient and deep. At that instant, a whispered directive echoed in his mind, a call to you, the listener.
"Follow my voice, and don't you dare look back."
The chamber pulsed as if alive, each beat syncing with his racing heart. As he stepped through the shattered mirror, his footsteps and the distant chanting blended into a symphony of suspense. Blackwood House was no longer just around him. It resonated within him, urging him to confront the darkest truths hidden within its hallowed halls. Every sound, the deep bass, the soft choral whispers, the commanding voice, wove together a tapestry of supernatural confrontation. With one final, resolute breath, Ethan embraced the unknown, determined to unravel the mysteries that had haunted him from the moment he crossed the threshold of Blackwood House. Ethan emerged from the passage of shattered mirrors, his heart pounding with a mix of dread and resolve. Now he found himself in a grand, abandoned ballroom where faded chandeliers hung like lost dreams and cracked mirrors lined the walls in chaotic arrays. Every surface echoed memories of once vibrant celebrations, now reduced to spectral remnants. The soft strains of a ghostly waltz floated in the air, weaving through the dust and cobwebs, as if the house itself longed for the echoes of its past. In the center of the room, a grand piano sat under a veil of shadows, its keys, yellowed by time, pulsed with the heartbeat of the mansion. Ethan approached cautiously, the music intensifying with each step. An unseen choir began to sing, their voices interlacing in sorrowful harmony. The melody carried a message, a secret hidden within the silent corridors of Blackwood House. Every note, every whisper is a piece of the puzzle. As Ethan reached the piano, his hand hovered over the keys, trembling with anticipation. The moment his fingers made contact, the room shuddered, and the waltz transformed into a frantic symphony of clashing chords and dissonant notes. In that chaotic crescendo, images flashed before his eyes, glimpses of forgotten lives, tragic endings, and fleeting moments of joy. The voices of the past grew louder, urging him to remember and understand. Itself from the gloom. It glided with deliberate grace, resolving into a figure draped in tattered finery. Her eyes, luminous with sorrow, locked onto Ethan's with an intensity that pierced his soul. In a voice both fragile and commanding, she spoke. "I am an echo of those who once lived. Hear our tales and know the truth." mansion revealed its secret. Blackwood House was not merely haunted by restless spirits, but by the living memories of a tragedy that spanned generations. The music, the voices, and the apparitions wove together a tapestry of sorrow and redemption. Ethan realized that to free the house, he must uncover the truth buried within these echoing halls. I will unravel this mystery. Ethan's journey continued as he descended deeper into the hidden bowels of Blackwood House. The grand ballroom behind him faded into a memory, replaced by a labyrinth of narrow corridors that twisted with no clear end. The air was heavy with despair and echoes of forgotten cries, while flickering lights cast distorted shadows on crumbling walls. Every step resounded with the persistent drip of water and the soft hum of distant spectral chants, pulling him into a realm where time and reality blurred. His Sunday grams in mourning. In a long passageway, a sudden chill swept over him, as if the very corridor exhaled sorrow. The walls, inscribed with ancient runes and faded murals, whispered silent tales of a curse that bound the mansion to the souls trapped within. Ethan's heartbeat pounded like a war drum, merging with the ethereal voices rising in a mournful chorus. Each footfall carried him further from the familiar into an abyss of half-remembered dreams and shattered hope. In darkness, truth is revealed. But at what cost? A rustle of fabric echoed from behind a partially open door at the corridor's end. Ethan paused, his flashlight trembling in his grasp. Drawn by the allure of secrets, he moved toward the door as whispers grew into an insistent call. A faint melody, like a lullaby drenched in sorrow, wove through the ambient drone, a reminder of lost voices and forgotten lives. With cautious resolve, Ethan pushed the door open to reveal a small chamber bathed in an eerie blue glow. At its center, a circular pedestal cradled a weathered mirror framed by gnarled vines. The mirror's surface shimmered with an otherworldly luminescence, displaying fleeting images of tormented faces and distant, sorrowful eyes. As Ethan stared, the voices crescendoed into a chorus of despair, and the reflection twisted into a visage both familiar and alien. The chamber vibrated with a life of its own, each tremor resonating with ancient anguish. Ethan's breath became shallow as he reached toward the mirror, determined to capture the hidden truth. In that fateful moment, the room exploded into a cacophony, a symphony of ghostly wails clashing unseen forces, and the echo of his own racing heartbeat. It was a descent into oblivion, where every sound, every whisper, drew him ever deeper into Blackwood House's dark secrets. Ethan stepped from the chamber into a vast, shadowed hall where time itself seemed to unravel. The corridor stretched before him like an endless tapestry of forgotten agony. Its walls adorned with faded frescoes depicting sorrowful scenes of loss and despair. Every step echoed as if in a cathedral of ghosts, and the silence was punctuated by intermittent whispers that promised revelations and regrets. In this forsaken passage, memories of the past merged with present fears, forming a bridge between worlds. At the far end of the hall, a massive mirror, cracked and veiled in a thin layer of frost, reflected not only Ethan's trembling face, but also phantom images of those long losts. Shadows danced behind him as spectral figures emerged from the mirror's depths, their eyes filled with unspoken sorrow. The air grew heavy, and the temperature plummeted as if the hall itself exhaled centuries of grief. Ethan's pulse raced, and a chill crept up his spine as the voices of the departed converged into a single, mournful chorus.
You can't escape your past.
In that moment, the mirror shattered with a cacophonous crash, scattering shards of memory across the hall. Each fragment displayed fleeting visions, lovers parting under a blood-red sky, mothers weeping over lost children, and heroes falling in battle. The spectral chorus swelled as Ethan's heart pounded in tandem with the relentless rhythm of despair. Determined yet terrified, he advanced toward the largest shard, reaching out as if to reclaim the truth hidden within its fractured reflection. The voices merged into one as the hall trembled, and a radiant beam of moonlight pierced the darkness. In that luminous moment, Ethan felt the weight of every untold story press upon him, a poignant reminder that the past, with all its beauty and pain, was inescapable. With unwavering resolve, he vowed to piece together the shattered legacy of Blackwood House. No matter the cost, his journey was not merely a quest for truth, but a battle against the very fabric of sorrow itself. Ethan emerged from the labyrinthine corridors, his heart still pounding with the echoes of shattered memories. He now stood at the threshold of a hidden chamber known as the Crypt of Whispers. This secret room, tucked away behind a rusted iron door, was said to hold the final truths of Blackwood House, a revelation that could either free its tormented souls or damn them forever. The chamber's walls were lined with cryptic symbols and murals depicting spectral figures, their faces contorted in eternal agony and longing. In the center of the chamber, a massive stone altar dominated the space, its surface engraved with an intricate pattern of runes that pulsed with an otherworldly glow. Dust motes swirled around the altar in the pale light of a lone flickering candle. As Ethan stepped closer, a chilling melody filled the air, a haunting, sorrowful tune sung by voices from another realm.
Here lies the key, the final truth of Blackwood House.
The voices grew clearer, layering into a mesmerizing chorus that enveloped Ethan in their mournful embrace. Each note resonated with the weight of centuries, carrying the anguish of forgotten souls. The altar seemed to vibrate in response, and ancient shadows coalesced into spectral figures that hovered at its edges, their eyes aglow with a sorrowful fire. A single beam of moonlight pierced the darkness, illuminating the altar as if inviting Ethan to uncover its secrets. With trembling hands, Ethan reached out to touch the cold, ancient stone. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, the room erupted in a cascade of whispers and dissonant chimes. The spectral figures began to dissolve, and in their place a vision materialized. A luminous manuscript suspended in mid-air, its pages filled with indecipherable script that pulsed with life. The vision was both beautiful and terrifying, a promise of revelation and a harbinger of doom. As Ethan leaned in, the manuscript's glow intensified, casting a surreal light over his face. In that electrifying moment, he knew that the fate of Blackwood House, and perhaps his own soul, rested upon the secrets inscribed within those ancient pages. The air vibrated with anticipation, every heartbeat marking the approach of destiny. shadows whispered and merged. With you a cascade surge, binding his fate to the long-forgotten souls of this accursed place. Ethan stood before the ancient archway that marked the threshold to Blackwood House's deepest secrets. Beyond lay the Sanctum of Echoes, a hidden chamber where the past and present converged in a spectral dance. The air shimmered with an otherworldly energy as ethereal light filtered through fractured stained glass, scattering kaleidoscopic patterns on cold stone floors. Every step echoed like a heartbeat in this sacred hall, where whispered voices of the departed sang a lament of centuries lost. At the center of the sanctum, a monumental dais supported a crystalline orb that pulsed with a ghostly luminescence. Around it, carved inscriptions in an unknown tongue spiraled like vines, hinting at an ancient covenant between mortal souls and forces beyond understanding. Ethan's pulse raced as he approached the orb, feeling as if the very air vibrated with the secrets it contained. The chamber's temperature dropped further, and a subtle mist coiled around his feet, cloaking the floor in a spectral veil. This is the moment. The truth must be revealed. As he reached out, the orb flared with brilliance, flooding the room with visions, fleeting images of a bygone era, anguished faces, and a powerful figure cloaked in shadows. The inscriptions glowed, their ancient message unraveling in silent poetry. The voices in the room grew louder, harmonizing into a chorus that resonated deep within Ethan's soul, urging him to awaken the dormant power hidden within every whispered syllable carried the weight of destiny and despair, merging into one final, resounding call. Awaken, Ethan! Embrace your fate! In that transcendent moment, time itself fractured. Ethan's mind flooded with revelations, memories of lives intertwined with Blackwood House and spectral forces that had long governed its existence. His heart pounded with newfound resolve as the orb's light enveloped him, unlocking latent power within the sanctum trembled, and the voices of the past merged with the present, declaring that his destiny was irrevocably bound to the house's eternal legacy. Shadows and light danced as one, leaving him forever changed. In the final chamber of Blackwood House, Ethan stood at the precipice of destiny. The Sanctum of Echoes, once filled with ghostly voices and ancient secrets, now shimmered with a new light, a radiant promise of redemption. The crystalline orb that had awakened his latent power pulsed gently, casting prismatic reflections upon walls of stone and centuries of sorrow. Shadows, which had once whispered despair, now danced in harmonious balance with the emerging light, signifying an end to relentless torment and the dawn of a hopeful future. Ethan's heart pounded as he stepped forward, each footfall echoing in the sacred silence. The voices of the past, once mournful and accusing, transformed into soft, encouraging murmurs that seemed to say, "You have the strength to heal us." In that hallowed moment, every tear, every regret, and every shattered dream converged into one clarion call for forgiveness and rebirth. The oppressive weight of Blackwood House lifted, replaced by fragile hope that shimmered like dew in early morning light. This is the time to forgive, to heal, to move forward. Across the vast chamber, spectral figures began to fade, their anguished faces softening into expressions of relief and peace. Ancient inscriptions on the walls glowed warmly, their messages of sorrow now transformed into verses of redemption. Ethan reached out, his hand trembling as he touched the glowing runes, feeling an overwhelming surge of compassion and resolve. In that instant, he understood that Blackwood House was not a prison for lost souls, but a sanctuary where the echoes of pain could finally be silenced. As the final notes of the spectral choir faded, a profound calm settled over the chamber. Ethan, now imbued with the power of redemption and understanding, turned away from the orb. The path behind him, once shrouded in despair, beckoned with the promise of new beginnings. With a deep, steady breath, he stepped into the light, leaving behind the haunted relics of the past and embracing a future where hope reigned supreme.
In the silence of night, where echoes breathe, I walk these halls of endless pain. Lost memories whisper in the rain. Blackwood House, a realm of shadow and light, where every ghost stirs in the dead of night. And never looking back, my heart is the key to set the spirits free. Through shattered mirrors and fractured dreams, I trace the echoes of forgotten themes. A spectral choir sings in silent cries in the corners of time where the past never dies. Voices calling me, they speak of loss, of love, of destiny. I'm never looking back. My heart is the key to set the spirits free. The shadows rest in a new dawn. May our souls find their best. Blackwood House, Your secrets now lie still as hope rises, fulfilling